Look at the state of this place. Right, so today the idea is to build these doors. I need security in here, obviously, if I've got tools and other personal belongings. But probably one of the other things that you can notice is you can't even see me. I don't have any lighting in here. I've got a few ideas, but I don't know. Alright, you might be able to see me better now. The Osmo does a great job in low light. It's incredible. But it is dark in here. I can't film. I really can't film a lot. It's great with the Osmo, but if I'm cutting and doing stuff like that, I don't keep the Osmo out. I usually go back to the GoPro, just so I can, clip it to anything. It doesn't really matter. It falls on the floor, it's protected. I've just come to realise that the Osmo is actually broken. The joystick on it, it will allow me to move the camera up and right, but going left and down, I don't like that. So yeah, good way to start a Monday. That's alright, we'll get that sorted. But yeah, I want to make the doors today, but I want to do it in here. It's raining outside, it's a bit drizzly. So yeah, I want to kind of build it in here. However, it's filthy in here. I've got no lights, so maybe today I don't build the doors. And maybe I start putting up some sort of bench storage sort of thing. I do have lights. Wait there. Yeah, I do have lights. However, they are quite bright. How bright, I hear you ask? Dun. Yeah, pretty bright. Right, to some people, if you can see this, they might look familiar. However, they shouldn't look like this. Yeah, they should be attached to this. And then this should be attached to the truck. Yeah, so obviously we built the shed. I had to do, I'm going to say close to 5 or 6 trips getting all of this material here, including the roof, like the metal, all of the timber, the sheets of OSB. They all went on the back of the truck, and from Inverness to here, yeah, it took its toll. And we were driving back one day without anything on there, and we started to hear this rattle. And yeah, it was the roof rack. It had snapped. In fact, it's broken on all of them, but it's only this one where it's actually completely sheared off. However, they've all got cracks around this area. So obviously this is a weld point on all of them, and it's failed. So we no longer have a roof rack, but we just have a truck. That's annoying, but I'll fix it. But in the meantime, yeah, I do have these lights, which are very bright, but if I just put maybe one up there and one up there, it might be efficient enough. So I might wire that up today, do that, tidy up, maybe put a bench across the back here, because I want to start enjoying myself in here, and at the moment I'm not. Go and find your ball. Outside. Find it. Go and find it. He's lost his ball. Right, that's it. That's a bench. Did a little shelf at the bottom because we had an offcut from where we had to fill in there. It worked out absolutely perfect. I think I've got like 5mm either end, but I'm happy with that. And then yeah, just a bit of offcut of batten across the front. Like I said, this is just temporary. But yeah, I'm having a good time. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to start moving all the tools and everything over here out the way. And then where we want to put just like a sort of kitchen sink work surface for Rachel doing her potting for gardening and stuff like that. Want to build that as well, because then that could also mean I can hide other things and we'll have a lot more space in here. So that's the next mission. Yeah, it's just time lapses. Am I going to build doors in this video or not? I don't know. Also, the Osmo is out of action. The toggle on it is completely broken. So we need to go and return that, which means we're back on the GoPro and I don't have a mic because I don't have mics for GoPros. So yeah, sorry about that. We will have to deal with this. But I have upped the quality on the GoPro. I hope it is noticeable. I hope it's good enough. But I don't think we'll... Well, where is it? You had an orange ball. Show me. Show me. Show me orange ball. Okay, everyone. This is an orange ball now, apparently. You gave up. You gave up looking. You should be able to find that ball. You're a clever dog. Go and find your ball. Come on. Give me a clue. That way. Find it. I think it's safe to say that I am pretty happy with how today has gone. Wasn't what I was expecting to do today. These doors are going to be so much more fun to make now, with a nice clean area. I would have just been losing my shit, to be honest with you. Let's pop some lights on. Still need to wire up properly. The lights are extremely bright. They're not ideal, but for now, it will do. Yeah, it's decent. I've actually been struggling to think of a really good way to light this area. Obviously I need it for filming, it's got to be good, but also generally having like lights above your workbench so you can actually see what you're doing as well is important. So yeah, I'm in an iron about all of that. Right. Morning, everyone. Excuse me if I'm in a bit of pain, but after look at it. After completing the shed yesterday, well, actually, it wasn't after I did it. Pretty much at the start, I broke my toe. I'm pretty sure I've broken my toe. I'm not going to put a picture up because if you want that sort of content, that's extra. But maybe some people might relate. Telescopic ladders. Now, this is a fairly decent one. what's the name? Werner. It's a decent telescopic ladder. However, after the years of abuse and being on a building site and getting grime and everything, every time you go to put it away, you have to like bang it down on the floor for it to drop down to the next stage. So I'm doing that, did it, and it caught me toe. Oh yeah, that hurt. It's just a bit painful just to walk on. And it's a bit purple as well. But got things to do. So we're gonna make some doors. Why am I over at this section? This is like the gardening section. Let's go to the workshop. There we go. That's a bit better. We're at the workshop now. Quick trip. Have I got a plan? Have I got a plan for these doors? No. Strings either side. That'll be 5x2, and then I'm going across there, I'm going across there. What I am thinking is 4x2s. This is just one door. There's obviously going to be 2 pairs of doors. 2 pairs? There's going to be a pair of doors. 4x2s going down, a 5x2 at the bottom, and then it's going to be OSB panel in the middle, doubled it up, so it's like 22mm thick. And then another 4x2, and then maybe another bit of OSB, and then the top. So imagine this, but on a budget. That's the sort of vibe we're going for. I'm not going to put glass in, I don't think, but could possibly do that in the future. Now obviously do remember that this is just a temporary shed. This is just a temporary shed just to store all of our belongings, rainwater harvesting, and for having a little workshop for building the projects for the land. So yeah, it's only going to be done out of C16? I think it's C16, 4x2s and 5x2s, paint it up again, and again OSB rather than paneling. Right, now because we're obviously making doors, I need to pick the straightest 4x2 that I have to make it a little bit easier. Now I don't mind if there's a slight curve because I'm going to be cutting these in half, so it makes it less of a curve, if that makes sense. But if I can get it as straight as possible, then that's going to be a lot easier for me. Right, thought I'll quickly show you one that is complete. So this is the sort of standard I'm getting it to. It's not going to be perfect. I don't really need it to be perfect, but that is good enough. And same for the middle here. Obviously you can't get a sander in here, but that is absolutely fine. And then the same on the end. So once I've done all the notches out of it, I'm basically just going to stain it all black. So the outside's going to be black, the OSB is going to be brown in the middle. But yeah, I will paint all in here before gluing anything up, just so you don't see any timber that's not painted, just where it swells and shrinks over the years. Yeah, it just gives it another little bit of protection in there as well. Oh, I've got a painting station over here. Look at that. I love this. This is like the first project in the shed. It's awesome. Apologies for the lighting though, I know it's not great, it is on my to-do list. There we go. All done. Right, I'm hoping you can see me. So this is one of the braces that is going to go across. So I've got 3 or 4x2s. No, I've got 4 of these 4x2s, which are going to do the top and the middle brace. And then I've got 2 of these 5x2s, which is the bottom brace. The only thing that I haven't done for the middle brace, this one, where we haven't gone all the way through, is I haven't cut it down to length yet. I've just basically kept it long. What I'll probably do is once I've assembled it all together with the top and the bottom, I'll then measure in between and then cut it to that length, just in case there's any difference, basically. But now what I'm going to do is just coat all of this up. Hopefully get 2 or 3 coats on it today. It is a fairly warm day, it's a bit breezy as well. So yeah, hopefully we can get these painted up pretty quick. Okay, so everything just had a first coat of stain, so I'm really happy with that. What I'm going to do now is just leave it for a little bit, just to get it a little bit more dry. And then I'm going to assemble it, just doing a dry fit, so no glue involved, probably just screwing it all together. So that's going to allow me to cut the sort of middle brace to length, and then I need to put some stain on those edges. And then what I also need to do is rebate on the inside so the OSB can sit into it, and then I'll screw it all in place. And obviously that's going to expose some bare wood, so I'll then coat that up with a bit of stain as well. And then that will actually allow me to measure the sizes for the panels that I need to put in, and I can get all of that cut. So fingers crossed I can try and assemble this before at the end of the day, and then that will allow obviously all the glue to go off, so tomorrow I can come sand anything, give it another coat of stain, and then chuck it in. Hopefully I'll be able to install those tomorrow, fingers crossed, we'll see. Right, we did not get finished yesterday. My toe started to really hurt, and it still does, to be honest, but I can crack on. Now, I did assemble the frame. Sorry, it's a bit chilly this morning. Yeah, I did assemble one frame, and whilst it was assembled, I went around with my router to make the rebate for the OSB to sit into. Now, unfortunately, I've only got my 1/4 inch router here, so the router bits that I have got. Okay, don't know why that stopped. Don't know if the battery's just cold, but it's saying 34%. Anyway, yeah, my router bits aren't making the rebate big enough. So, with that in mind, what I'm probably going to have to do is just cut it with my skill saw. Gotta say, even though my Osmo is broken at the moment, I'm starting to get sick of this GoPro again. Let's try this one more time. I only have a 1/4 inch router bit here, right? I only have a 1/4 inch router here. So the bits that I have in it aren't making a big enough rebate. Now, if I had my 1/2 inch router here, we'd have no problems. But what I'm going to have to do is probably just get my skill saw, cut across this way, take a big chunk out of it basically for a rebate, and yeah, have to do it that way. However, it's not as easy as it's not as easy to say it easy. Words. Now that is easier said than done, because as you can see, I can't just cut all the way across. It does come to a stop on certain points, so I need to work out what that's going to be, cut it there as well. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare actually. Yeah, this is going to be a fun day. Right, as you can see, the door frames are now gluing up. Hello. Well done. Yeah, very proud of you. So what I think I'm going to do is leave them there for today. All the panels are done, they're all painted, they can be put in as well. Once they go in, I'll just be screwing them in place. I actually need to get another sheet because I don't have enough. So yeah. So once I've got a new sheet, I'll obviously cut it to size, put it in there, because obviously I want to double it up just so it's a bit stronger. So yeah, I think tomorrow morning I'll put those in and get them swinging, because then we're popping out to Inverness, so good timing. So last night I did come out here and I laid these down flat, obviously as you can see, put it on some bearers in between as well, just so it didn't warp at all really. I also had to go out, just cleaned up some of the glue, and yeah, it looks like it's going to come off pretty easy. So this morning, it's going to tidy these frames up. They need a little bit of paint work, but that's fine. Pop the panels in, screw them in place, and get them swinging. Fucking toe, man. Door stop. I haven't got a door stop yet. Alright, now the doors are done-ish. Just going to show you the hinges. Honestly, some cheapy gate hinges would have been fine for this, because they really don't weigh a lot. But we've gone big. So these are called cranked hook and bands, which is what these are apparently. So yeah, they just pivot on that and you can actually lift the doors off once you've actually opened them. But yeah, what I'm thinking is probably just having one here and at the bottom and not worrying about the top. So I wasn't going to put the bolts in just because we are so low on batteries for the tools, so but I just felt like it really needed it. That really hurts. Oh, I've lost me nut. Shit. Is there anybody seeing that? Oh, fucking hell, man. Right, for getting this door all in line, what we've got is airbags. Yeah, these little things. Basically you just pump air into it and it can lift a lot of weight. Again, these aren't very heavy, but for fitting doors, especially like fire doors, these are a must. And then just for the top, I've just got a 3mm packer. So what I'm going to do is pop that on there, pump up the bag, that'll hold it in place. One of these does have a leak. Yeah, I've had them for many years now, and they were only cheapies. Yeah, pump it up, put it into place, put the brackets underneath, screw them in, job done. I'll be able to get that bottom one on. Fucker. That was close. There we go. Not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. We will have architrave and everything all going around, so to tidy it up a little bit. Right, now where's that nut? Right, let's get the other one swinging. That. Not bad at all. Right. We need to get some lights in here. Oh god, this place is such a mess now. There's been just so many little jobs here and there. And yeah, because I don't have light in here, it makes it very hard at the end of the day to be like, okay, I'll pack up now. When I can't see shit, I can't see anything. But hopefully you can see this. Now I did record a little bit of this, but again, it's very dark in here, so I'll probably be doing a lot of time lapses, okay? I'm sorry. But I basically just made this board up, very roughly, just cut out these little slits just for all the cables to come through, just to kind of keep everything neat. But this is our 12 volt fuse board, and this is our 12 volt switch panel. At the moment, all I've got wired up is the pump. So when we need to pump up the tank in the motorhome, we can just flick that switch now, which is very handy. But today, I'm going to make some lights. Now what I've got is 10 meters of, I think they're called cob LED lights. So basically it's like a continuous LED rather than the individual little lights. Although I do believe it is still individual little lights, but they've put this like, I don't know, like gel all the way around it, which makes it look more uniform, I guess, maybe. So this little thing here is just an extension lead to plug into the generator. However, it doesn't have an RCD on it, and I found that out the hard way when I blew up my DeWalt fast charger. Yeah, so that's buy another one, £67, lovely. So I have an extension lead which does have like a thermal cutout RCD basically. So I basically run everything into that now, and obviously I can just plug straight into that. That is for the motorhome. However, I've got an RCD in the motorhome, so that's not really an issue. And then yeah, we've just got some USB sockets, 12 volt socket. But today I need to get some lights in this place. And I've been debating how to make the lights. Obviously I know that I've got these LED lights. I obviously need to cut these, solder on some more ends. But what I do have is a load of roofing batten left over. So I'm quite tempted just to run a little groove in the centre of it and then just lay in the LED light. That's my thinking. Cheap and cheerful, doesn't need to be anything special. But I think this is my goal for today. So I'm going to grab 3 lengths of this now, router in the groove, and then just start cutting and soldering new ends onto all of this. Hopefully by the end of today. In fact, I know that I won't have it all done today. Will I have it all done today? Have I got enough cable? Today or tomorrow, I'll finish it. It's fine. It's cool. Okay, so I've had some thoughts. And because I'm going to have the workbench along the back, chop saw down here, and maybe bandsaw and thicknesser here, maybe. We'll think about it. Find your ball. Go find your ball. Good boy. So I was thinking about the positioning of the lights from above, and if I'm ever filming and working over something, I don't want the light to be directly above me, shining down, causing a shadow. So yeah, sort of thinking along those lines. From taking some measurements, I think what I'm going to do is have the lights halfway across the workbench as it is now. Workbench is like just over 600, kind of like a kitchen worktop sort of size. And I think that's perfect, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to come 300 out from off each wall. And instead of making them individual, I think what it's going to allow me to do is just throw a mitre on the corners and have it as one loop and then coming off. That would mean I've only then got one light to do here, so that means only soldering on 2 cables. No big deal. You're struggling with this one, aren't you, buddy? Good. Use that brain. Go find it. So I've just gone over and sanded all of the battens with a 80 grit orbital sander, and yeah, it looks lovely. From rough sawn timber battens, just throwing a sander over it just makes it look a lot better. I feel like you can do a lot with like rough timber if you just put in a little bit of extra effort. Even put like a little angle on the end just to give it a bit of something. And now what I'm going to do is router in the groove. Oh yeah, good news everyone. I don't have to do any soldering. They've got connections on both ends. Happy days. But yeah, I don't want to interfere with the light too much, so just putting it up to the router and just seeing how deep I actually really need to go, because I don't think it needs to be a lot. I think that will do. It's roughly about halfway on the LED light of the thickness of it. In fact, I might even do a little bit less. So I'm going to do a groove about maybe 1/3 of the thickness of the LED light, just because I don't want to interfere with the display, I guess, of the light. So yeah, that's it. What do I do next? So I've got the LED strip in this light run here. Haven't done the whole loop for that one just yet, but I thought I'd quickly wire this up, see what it looks like. And at the same time, I'm also going to run in the cable which will feed those lights. Right. So on the back of this switch panel, it all came with like pre-fused and wired, everything, so really handy. So what I'm using are these soldered connectors. I don't know if you can see them. I did have a cordless heat gun, but it broke. And I do have a 241, but I'm not going to run the Jenny just for that. I'm just going to go old school and use a lighter. Ooh, nearly messed up then. There we go. So for the lights, I want the first two switches. That one for that one, this one for this one. Yeah, let's do that. If you do use a lighter, a zip home is a lot easier. You don't want to hold the light, the flame in one place. You want to keep moving it around a bit. There we go. That's melted. So now we've got our pump. Lights. Those horrible ones, but they'll be going over to the new one. Ooh, look at that. No flickering on the GoPro. That is good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, now we've got light over there. I need to drill a hole up there and start feeding this cable all the way around. So far, it does seem to be sticking, so that's good. Alright, I've just wired it up here. Just quickly shut the doors. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I disconnected the power. Why do I always do shit like that? It's quite hard to do in the dark. There we go. Alright, let's try that again. Whee! Put that one on as well. Nice! That's cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I definitely need like a big light in the middle. But no, this is cool. This will do nicely. What's it like on camera? That's plenty of light. That's awesome. We can do some projects in here. Like this. It's a slice of the tree that was in the corner of the building over there. I think I'm going to router in a little sign that says the shed and get it on outside. Woo! Happy days.